because she's always there. Like, she makes time out of her way just to help you. Like, she's real patient, she's real kind. She'll just sit down and help you work through what you need to work through.
Well, when I was a little girl, I remember playing in my bedroom, and I would line my doll babies up and my teddy bears and stuff, and I would teach school all afternoon, and I would even write on my paneled walls with chalk and hope that I had time to get it erased before my daddy would come home, because I did not want to get in trouble. I graduated from Aynor High School, so this is very special to me. I am a Blue Jacket. I went through a spell where I thought I maybe wanted to pursue dentistry, and I changed my mind. I was in teacher cadet whenever I was in high school as a senior, and when I did my student teaching, I actually came back and did my student teaching with the teacher who taught me teacher cadet, and now we work in the same building. And it's different every day, every year. It's different every semester. It's different, and you never know what you're going to walk in. I mean, you never know what the day's going to bring. You can plan and plan and plan, but when the children come in, if they don't get it, you have to regroup and do it. Monitor and adjust. Monitor and adjust. That's so important.
Whenever she writes, it's business there. Like, you gotta be on your A game whenever you write, because it's a lot harder than what we normally do.
The old adage is so true. They don't care what you know till they know that you care. So I fully believe that. So I work really hard to try to establish positive relationships. I have experienced dirt track racing for the first time. I had a student who was a race car driver. I had never been to a dirt track in my life. He would talk about it some, and then he was one of my children who the relationship piece was very important, and because he knew that I cared enough about him to go watch him race on the dirt track and almost have a heart attack every time he'd go around the curve, you know, he did try harder for me in the English classroom, and that made such a difference. I want to make them better readers and better writers, and I want them to be confident not only in the English classroom but in their other core classes and other areas of life as well. I want them to be able to interact with people and to know how to be problem solvers.
She's just nice and she'll work you, but it's helpful. Like, I learned so much stuff about writing and reading. She's just one of the best teachers I've probably ever had.
Mr. B's class, feeling like we're in college. Notice all the math problems, no we're gaining knowledge. 802 is where it is. Math is what we do. Don't mistake us for nerds because we're all cool too. Say we learn together. We learn together. We grow together. We grow together. If one of us fails.
Mr. Bellamy is an amazing teacher, and he pushes us to see, because he sees our worth. I think he really sees stuff in us, and he doesn't just take us for granted as just someone he's teaching.
My kindergarten teacher, Miss Susan Wiseman, when we were younger, she used to, every week or every other week, she would take a student after school to like eat dinner, eat lunch, and then she would take them home and spend time talking to their parents. And so when I was younger, that was my inspiration, because I would think, you know, why would somebody who didn't even know me spend that kind of time with me, try to get to know me like that? So that was my inspiration to teach. And then math, it's one of those things that once you get it, you kind of like stand out, because everybody hates math. And so I was like, well, let me pick up that thing that most people run away from. So that was my inspiration. Like, the one thing everybody hated, I was gonna love.
Mr. Bellamy, he's a really good teacher. He makes sure like students he like tries to build a relationship with us. Because it's not just about math to him, it's about other things outside of math. He wants to see the students grow and be successful in life.
That my dad was an alcoholic, and it was a struggle living in a house with him and him kind of being absent because he was under the influence of alcohol. But my dad was also one of my greatest inspirations, because that's actually where I get my ability to sing from. That's where I get my genius, I call it, from, because my dad was intelligent. And so I got to witness firsthand the influence of alcoholism on somebody and how it can impact a child's life. So when students come in and they're facing those issues, whether a parent is not there or whether they have a parent who's under the influence or impression of something else, I have a heart for them because I've experienced it myself, and I understand the detachment and the longing for that parent to be present in your life. And that's what teaching is. It's about building those relationships. and having that full understanding of every child. When we talk about differentiation, I tell them all the time, it's not just how we teach, but it's also discipline. It's everything you do has to be differentiated if you're really talking about genuine relationships with students.
He's always on us about getting in trouble and all that. He don't like to see us in trouble.
What happens if you get in trouble and he talks to you? What does he say?
He gets the mean eye.
He does what?
He gets the mean eye.
All right, what's his mean eye look? Do it for me.
Yeah, he cares about us and not like learning wise. He like tries to build a relationship with us.
So it's my job as a teacher to try to pull out that greatest potential and help them understand that they're destined and purpose for greatness. Every student is destined and purpose for greatness, every one of them.
I say that he's nice and she's fun. She helps us learn stuff, and she helps us learn stuff that we would get high scores.
Just waking up excited to go to work every day. I don't say I have to go to work. I say I get to go to work.
We think she's a good teacher, all of us.
I was a teacher cadet in high school at Sumter High under the direction of Susan Hilton, and she just encouraged the potential that I had. She helped me not just learn the lesson plan part, but helped me to realize that I could make a difference. And I was fortunate enough to have lots of educators that did that. I still have teachers that I keep in touch with, and they all just believed in me and showed me that I could make a difference in children's lives. So teaching these students that there are outlets, and when you're going through something tough, that there are people, first of all, that love you and are going to encourage you, but there's also skills that can help you get through the really hard times. I want them to see that every one of them has gifts, and we're not all the same. We're not all made the same. They're not all going to grow up and have the same job. They're not going to have the same calling, but that each one of them has something, and I want to find that out. My mentor teacher was Stephanie Hughes, and honestly, there were days that I just didn't know that I was in the right spot. And she just said, you know, you're here for a reason, you're good at what you do, and these babies need you. And she helped me get through it. I can encourage other teachers. You know, I've had 5 teacher cadets. I have an intern now from Coastal. It just really instills in me that I can encourage others, and I can show them how great of a job this is and that they can make a difference too. There's no other job. This is the best job in the world.
I heard that she said she wouldn't give up teacher for anything in the world. We would be horror struck.
If she stopped teaching, you would be horror struck.
Yeah.
Not disappointed, not upset, horror struck.
Yeah, pretty much worse than upset.
I've said the whole time, I just want them to come here and see our babies and see the love that we have for each other in this community. I didn't know 5 years ago that I would end up in a little country school off of 378. I had no idea, but I found my home here. So.
Good luck, Miss Glenn.
What, particularly in this class, the one-on-one, how he teaches, how he gives everybody attention, and just, he makes you feel comfortable, like you are meant to be here, and like you're not just here to be here to do math.
I think there was an old flame that I wanted to be a teacher, so when I got down there and started doing it, yes, it reignited my flame, and I was all fired up, like, man, I get to do this, and no matter how I feel, I gotta put that smile on. Yeah. That's my job. It's my job to be my best every day for them, you know, when they know you care, when they know you truly care. Listen, you don't think these kids know if I was fake? They know if you're fake, and it's the old, hey, you gotta get through this, and I'm your guy. Let's roll.
He really changed my outlook on education. Like, when I came into high school, I was just chasing grades and just trying to get all A's. And then now he actually taught me that if I learn the material, I don't need to worry about the grades, because the grades will come as long as I know what I'm doing.
My beginning of the year, I was kind of slacking off or whatever, but he has, like, when I first came here, I was like, okay, whatever, this, and then he just inspired me to get it done and get out of math class, or get out of high school.
Yeah, that's a learning opportunity. We talk about learning in here. This is the learning space. It's what we call it. You know, you came in, I said, welcome to the learning space. We build this community. I mean, look around you right now. Yeah. There's a community of learners all trying to do the same things and helping each other out. I think for me, it's the It's the kid that tells me when they get here that I can't do math, and they leave here just killing math every day. I don't know, man. It's like the challenge, like, come on. And they just needed somebody to say, hey, I'm gonna give you all the chances you need to do this.
The confidence he gives me and what he says to me, and just he's inspired me to get out of high school, graduate, and be successful in life. Please don't cry, because if you cry, then I'm gonna cry.
Jeez, I'm winning. I'm winning in all this. This whole thing called life, I'm winning. I don't know, man. I just think we're all lucky. You know, like, everybody doesn't have what I have. And I have this. And I get to do this every day. I get to wake up and come here every day.
If you do something wrong, like, you will have another chance, and she will really like love you through it and help you. Well, what she does matters.
I had a feeling I wanted to be in education. I've always had a desire to help people. So I just felt like I had this connection with the, pediatric population. So I thought maybe I'll go into pediatric medicine. Well, then when I was in high school, I got hurt as a lacrosse player. And I became introduced to athletic training, and I was like, man, I can work in a school with kids and help with the medicine, so it was like blending of both worlds. So right at 3:15, I switched from teacher mode to athletic training, go around the corner. But seeing them, that aha moment is huge for me. Helping them figure out where they want to go in life. I feel very blessed being high school. I'm getting them right before they go out into the real world, and I'm helping them pick the path that's going to be best for them. Whether it's a 2-year school, 4-year school, go right into work, talk about different careers, seeing them, that's awesome.
Right. She gets the real world application side of the health science, so she's teaching it, but then she's going out at 3:15 when that bell rings and going out on the field and living that. So it's very interesting.
So I still have that teacher hat on, but I get to know my athletes better, personally, their story, help them get stronger, get better in their successes. I'm doing what God called me to do. I'm connecting with these kids, I'm a positive influence in their life, and I'm helping them reach their goals. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. The relationships are what keep me going. Getting to see them at their highest highs and their lowest lows. And they come and tell me, I've had students burst through my door in the middle of class, I got into college at Charleston, and for them to come and tell me about that, it's really special.
I was in the hospital, and she was my homebound teacher. So, like, coming through that, like, with her being like, Charlotte, how are you feeling today? Like, how are you doing? And coming back to school, like, I knew I had somebody. Yeah, she was awesome.
Exactly, yeah. It's just that even if I didn't need her, she would be there.
They're not going to remember on April 4th, Miss Fisher taught us dermatological issues, but they're going to remember she was there for me when I needed help,
She's really, like, we love her, like, genuinely love her. And it's not just me, it's everybody.